Just strap in and get ready.
The leaders in AFL SuperCoach are incoming, helping you win your leagues and climb up the rankings.
You're now listening to the Insight AFL Show with your hosts, Big Horse and Skitty.
G'day and welcome to the Insight AFL Show. I'm your host, The Horse, and with me tonight, as always, on a Sunday evening, he's told work to, like Xavier Atlas, go bird watching. It's deadly. How you doing, mate?
Doing well, mate. Doing well. Pretty hectic weekend, to be honest, in the footy. It's been the week of the rookie and the week of the not so rookie at the same time, with all our guys getting named as a sub. Yeah, it's been an interesting one. None of the primos really firing.
No,
it's a bit of an interesting week.
I feel like this week is going to be probably a worse scoring week than what we had last week. So if you're sitting at home and you're thinking, "Fuck, I'm only getting 1,800 or 1,850," I feel like that's probably not a bad score, given that we've had a lot of primos not crack the 100. Your Lockie Neals, your Connor Rosees, your Finn Callaghan's, Jordan Dawson didn't even get to 100 today, mate. Your Sheasels. If you got Sinclair, you're laughing, but
yeah,
there's not really that many huge scores this weekend.
Nah, not at all. And it looks like at the minute the Squid's going to win his own squeeze of the week with guessing Sinclair's score. Out of the bloody hundreds of mentions he had, my Twitter was popping off the other day with people guessing under his post.
That's unreal. But anyway, we move on because we'll talk about some footy, some squeeze stuff and all that and a whole lot more. But if you haven't yet, like, subscribe and bell. We call it being the triple banger. Also, if you haven't given us a thumbs up, do that. We'd really appreciate that also. If you're listening to us on audio, 5-star review, please, helps get us out into the algorithm that is AFL SuperCoach to those that decide to listen to us to and from work, or if they just don't want to listen to their boss during the day and they've got us on the earpods in their ears, listening to some good quality banter with a bit of AFL in there. That's what we love to hear. Now, what do you reckon, Deadly? Should we just get stuck straight into game one?
Yeah, I mean, may as well. And flag ons. I
mean, I'd like to think of myself as a pretty reasonable man, but flag ons. What are they paying to win the premiership now?
Who cares, because it's overs. It's
overs.
Odds on.
Should be $1.02. You're right. Yeah. Sam Baker looking at you. Caddy's going to kick a heap this year, but it was an ugly game. We can admit that it was pretty untidy there at Etihad. It was almost like they were playing wet weather footy, Deadly, because the skills weren't great. The ball was just going or bursting through people's hands. People were slipping all over the joint. But then in the last quarter, it was almost when that sub was activated, and Essendon turned to someone who could break the lines and be creative from half back, that all of a sudden we look more dangerous. Who would have figured?
Yeah, I mean, shit, who would have thought that having Dylan Shield not in the back line butchering the ball every 5 seconds would mean we actually look decent by foot?
Thanks, Cheese. He's just told us that 101 for the Dons to win the flag. So, mate.
Overs.
I'm not Ryan from Astute Newstead, but yeah. I'd be asking the missus if you can remortgage the home loan to load up on that. But anyway,
I'll tell you what, I bet you Ryan's bloody thrilled too, because his Crom, they're looking good.
We'll get to them later. I don't want to talk too much more about Matt Crouch and Ben Keys and what I have to. But Xavier Dersma, really good in this one, 118 SuperCoach points. Mason Redman, who knew? Keep him at half back and he'll actually do all right. 111 SuperCoach points. Sammy Durham he'll keep on keeping on and will be a staple of the Essendon midfield for years to come. 109, Zach Merritt, awesome. He'll win the Essendon BNF. We'll call it now. 106 SuperCoach points. Jade Gresham, he's been sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit, but early this year has been quite good, Deadly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the way Gresham's been playing. I thought, I've always thought of him as a pretty bang average footballer, but he's sort of improved a little bit on himself. And, we look at some of the top guys on Essendon. Dersma had a fantastic last quarter. Redmond was great all game pretty much. Durham did a fantastic job just in himself and stopping Rosie.
Mm-hmm.
And, mate, what are your thoughts on Zach Merritt and his DPP chances?
No, I don't like it.
You don't reckon?
No, I don't think it happens. I think he'll go close, within like 5%, but I don't think it happens.
So we've got a Pickles 2.0 of last year.
Oh, he's a much better bloke than Pickles.
Well, yeah, that's obvious, but in terms of getting DPP.
What about Zach Reid and Jackson Pryor? Beautiful games when we're talking rookies out of them. Reid scored 88 SuperCoach points and Pryor 78. I managed to be able to loop both of their scores onto my field for this week. But this is why we hold on to your rookies, because if at any one time, they could pop off.
Yeah, that's 100% it, mate. And, as we're seeing with sort of this week, the subs and the risks of injury and whatnot with a few of these guys, even if, Reid and Pryor still have negative break-evens, they've got their spots. They're pretty well locked into this Essendon side, and that's why you just hold them. And, the scores came. We didn't really expect the scores to come, but boy, we're happy that they did.
Yeah. Coach Scott, he's going to stick fat with those guys down back. They are young. They are inexperienced. But with any good back line, with inexperience comes chemistry, comes experience, comes a closer knit group of people. It'll happen. Give it time. Like this will probably be a once-off for now, and then next week we'll probably go back to being pretty ordinary. But you need that cohesion and that chemistry to be a dominant unit. So
it's all right. We can't be ordinary next week. We've got the bye. We can't be ordinary.
Well, with the way we're playing before this week, we could have lost to the bye. But anyway, what did you make of two things? The Bronx cheers for Mackay, when he actually took a mark, because fuck, he looked ordinary early.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of been a thing with Mackay. He's sort of just left North and forgot how to even play football at this rate. But when he does do something, we've got to applaud him, because we're paying him $1.5 million a year to take 2 marks a game, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, next year that goes down significantly, so don't mind that. And Earl Hawley, he has to start, not next week, of course, because we've got the bye, but after that, after what he showed in the last quarter, you can't not play him.
Yeah, 100%. You're 100% right. And one I'll touch on quickly, Isaac Kako. Probably, I think he comes into this week with a 4 or 5 or something like that, break even. You just hold through the bye.
He's your loop player. Yep. I like it. Now, mate, you've been shouting out Jace Burgoyne's praise for weeks now, and he's gone back-to-back tons and looks really good down there for Port.
He is off to a ripping start, and I think this is the best move for not only his career, but Port Adelaide in itself. He's been one of the best on the park for Port in the past 2 weeks. And something that's very underrated. That's back-to-back weeks now. He's had 100% time on ground, hasn't left the field. I'll tell you
that's
what,
a lot for a player that plays in that position too.
100%. And I'll tell you what, if he stays in sort of that halfback wing floating role, what he's doing, if he can sneak DPP, I'm slightly interested.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Ollie Wines, 106. Moraes, he's definitely one you're going to want to look at on the bubble.
Yeah.
So we have received word today that Xavier Lindsay does not have a torn ACL that he may be back in perhaps 2 to 3 weeks. So if that's the case, that could nearly be your sideways trade, or make a little bit of bank there, downgrade into Moraes and look to use that cash elsewhere.
Yeah, 100%. I'll probably potentially Lindsay. I don't know. We'll look into it when it opens up tonight. I haven't really been able to plan everything, just the way this week's gone and whatnot. But yeah, Moraes is definitely probably one that I'll look at.
Yep. Now, Kane Farrell, 86. Yeah, it's kind of what you're going to get when the ball struggles to move as freely as what it has for Port. But Horn Francis, so 22 touches, which is not too bad, especially when you're playing the majority of time up forward. But is he broken at the moment? What are you seeing in his game that is it because of the Marshall injury in the preseason to the Achilles, and now Ken's like, fuck, we need him up forward a little bit more to make us look a little more dangerous?
Yeah, it's definitely plays a factor. I reckon I don't know. I seriously don't know what goes on with him, because, people in the WhatsApp have been talking about it as well. He's just ordinary the way he plays football.
Yeah.
I don't know how he goes about things.
He looks disinterested, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, shit. If you looked at the TikToks that I sent in the WhatsApp today, you would have understand why that we shouldn't have picked him from the start.
All right.
But I think I'm gonna hold strong. I think with Butters coming back, potentially gather round, I can see Horn Francis getting unlocked a bit more.
I want to ask you about that before we move on. We're not really going to talk about Rosie because Durham did a good job on him. But when Butters comes back, does that mean he gets less opportunity through the midfield? If we see Thomas in the chats, 15 CBAs he still had. I fear that you got Drew, Rosie, Butters, Wines, Moraes. Is that a midfield that can just get it done without Pickles and that he's going to be used even more as a forward?
Yeah, I mean, yes, it could go either way, to be honest, but surely you just back the midfield that worked for you last year. There's no real changes to this port side besides the real losses up forward. And I feel like they're missing an opportunity by, like, they played Finlayson in the Sandfield this week, and it just seemed a bit silly to do that. He played forward the whole time in the Sandfield too, so maybe they're potentially looking at just transitioning him back from, him training back all year.
Okay. Just
give him a few games and then he goes back forward, which if that's the case, I can see Horn Francis going back to the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't trust Ken, I'll be honest. But I don't really want to trade Horn Francis because I still feel he's going to be at least top 10 forwards. And there's just, I'm happy to run with, the 10th best forward if he's F7. I get it's a shit price and the break-even's gone, he's losing money, but I don't see the value in wasting the trade on it.
No, I'm with you, 100%. As we move into your next game, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not a part of our Unlimited League yet, it is open for only another 4 more rounds. 356460, our league code is, again, 356460. If you're a part of that league and you come top each week, you win a pack, thanks to the guys at the Standard Squeeze who have been with us since day one. We move into a game on Friday night that I actually really enjoyed, Deadly. It was Carlton versus Western Bulldogs, and it ebbed and flowed and what have you, but Doggies ultimately come up golden.
Yeah, I mean, a Carlton loss is another good week for us. Let's be honest, as Essendon men, we don't like seeing Carlton win. But there's a lot to take out of this game, to be honest. Just the way Carlton are going about things, it's pretty poor signs, and it's a bit of a worry. Just any assets that they have. TDK, fantastic. As you see there, 133 from him. Beautiful. I'm not worried about him. I'm more leaning at the likes of Chera. If I'd own him, I'm slightly worried.
Why?
He is, in my eyes, he's been the best midfielder the past 3 weeks for Carlton. But for some reason, he's getting the lowest CBAs out of about the 5 midfielders they have. He's easily, I saw the stat yesterday, it was something like he's first in disposals per minute on ground or something like that. He's first in a lot of these stats per minute. So he's been phenomenal when he's on, but he's just not getting the opportunities.
Right.
And it sort of worries me that Vossi doesn't trust him enough, which I don't know why.
Well, I've got another little stat for you. In the last quarter, Walsh had 67% time on ground and Chera had 66% time on ground. So effectively, 2 of your better players are spending a third of the last quarter on the bench when the game's on the line. So to me, that's shit coaching. That's shit game or player management. Yeah.
And all we can go off that is, if Vossi's the coach, we're playing around him pretty much when we can't control what Chera does, what Walsh does.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to go with what he thinks, and boy, it worries me.
I did some further digging. So for the Western Bulldogs, only Sanders had lower time on ground in the last, who wasn't the sub.
Somehow Sanders made 30 points in that last quarter, and I didn't see him once, so that shocked me the week I sell him.
So are we really looking at anyone Carlton related now?
I'm not. I mean,
I mean, you're going to have De Koning already if you've
Yeah.
got him. You're going to have
Gate's
Chera
fine.
already. Cripps is going to lose coin. Anyone else?
I'm not interested in anyone else, to be honest, and I won't be until hopefully Campriali comes back in because holy shit, they actually looked horrible out on that wing where he was, and I didn't realise he made such a difference out there.
Tell you who was good. Libba.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Say the next name.
Samuel Davidson.
Who, this is sort of where I reiterate, he would have been matched up to Campriali. So it's...
Who was he matched up on out on the wing? Was it... It wasn't Blake Acres' wing, was it? And he had an absolute mare as well.
He was shocking. It was mostly... I literally did the stats for it yesterday. Doherty was out there at times. Mainly Cottrell.
Yeah,
that's about it, I think.
Okay. Davidson, though, an absolute godsend of a rookie for us. 31 touches, 10 marks, 129 Supercoach points. Libba had 133 of his own from 30 touches and 11 tackles. Sam Darcy. We normally shy away from tall forwards in Supercoach, but is he someone that we should seriously be considering?
Yes and no. I would, but I can definitely see there, as we know with key forwards, if the team gets dominated, they don't see enough ball, they're just going to lose points.
For sure.
Like, get no points, lose money. I'd be potentially interested if he has one of them games soon and he loses more coin, because obviously he's gaining a whole bunch of coin and he's got a nice break even this week, I think. But yeah, I wouldn't really be interested at the price. I sort of wish we did the strategy of what Kizza had planning in the preseason with starting with him, but even he sold him. So yeah, it's different.
Would have been nice for Matty Kennedy to get this win too. Yeah, 22 touches, 2 goals, 113 Supercoach points. The Colonel bounced back, kind of 24 touches, 88 Supercoach points. Bailey Dale 81 and had a monster last quarter.
No, I refuse to say Adam. I came on here. I said in the WhatsApp, I'm going to come on here and I'm going to absolutely bag champion data and the scoring system. Because how in the fuck did Bailey Dale get 81? He was really shit all game. Besides that one play where he got the spoil, got the kick, and James O'Donnell kicked. Somehow that play was worth 36 Supercoach points in one singular play. That doesn't work. No, it doesn't happen. I hate it. I hate the way the scoring system. I wish there was set scoring. It's stupid. You shouldn't get more points for how clutch a play was or something like that. I just don't like it.
It works for our punters club.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yep.
But I mean, it's the game we play. It's what we got to live with.
Yeah,
I think Dale owners got bailed out a bit there, but it's all right.
Ed Richards, 21 touches, very quiet this game, 76 Supercoach points. The fridge finally didn't go bang in the last quarter in this 168 Supercoach points, and then nothing else really to look at there.
Fridge also somehow gained 20-something Supercoach points in the last quarter, and all he did was have 2 touches and a tackle, so it proves my point even more, to be honest.
Unreal. As we move on to the next game, mate, we're going to give the Game Day squad a shout out. If you're interested in participating in a online footy card game, then this is for you. Use the code IFSAUS to receive 3x9 player common packs to get you started and involved in our league. It is free to join. If you're part of our Patreon, you get free packs. If you're part of our Patreon, you get free packs every Monday. It's just free, and it doesn't cost you a cent to sign up. So go on the Game Day Squad app, use the code IFSAUS, and sign up today. Now, into the Melbourne versus Gold Coast game, and where to for Melbourne? I didn't actually watch this game. You watched it.
I can tell you what we're into before we get into this game, Horse. Play the soundbite.
Which one?
You know the one. We've got to give some special men some shout-outs.
Oh, hang on. Now I know.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Well. The president, he's done it again, Mick. Does he ever fail? Do you reckon Kiz has ever had a big loss?
Never.
He absolutely slammed in a beautiful beautiful ladder with Tuke Miller and
Will Graham.
Graham for goals. Got them both for 2+ each. That was paying 131. Graham almost got a third, which would have been 1,000 to 1, which insanity. He made himself a cool $7,000, which is what we want to see. And also just with the Ponies Club, we've had a great weekend. Our man the Squid had a good win today on Jacob Constanzi.
Yeah.
Corey in the chat, he had a nice win there with Riley Philthorpe, Curtis and Larkey.
Yep.
We had a good week, mate.
I'm going to have to rename that Here Comes the Money, Here Comes Kizza. He's
100%.
unreal, but our man, that's why he's the president. Absolute ripper bloke, gentleman. And you know what? Easy as to talk to, and he's happy to teach people as well. So remember, we Lockie Bramble responsibly, and you only gamble within your means, within what we do inside of our WhatsApp and inside our Patreon. Now, Melbourne, are they done? Can you
They're in
see
trouble.
any coming back, or are they legitimately in trouble?
I think they're in trouble. I can see some coming back. I don't think they'll finish. I don't know what they are right this second, probably last or second last.
Yeah.
But I don't see them finishing that low. I reckon they'll probably easily miss the 8, just because they look completely out of it. The whole team the structure of that whole team's just not looking up to par.
Mm-hmm.
And they just got ran through. Gold Coast were playing a full run and gun style, and they just got absolutely dominated. And it's just a few outlying worries there, to be honest.
Let's talk about Melbourne players before we go on to Gold Coast. Jake Bowie, another ton, 116 Supercoach points. Langdon, 109. Rivers, 101. You're not really going to have Rivers, though. 46 last week. Gawn, for those of you that held Gawn, he outscored Cherry by 1 point this week. So well done for holding on and resisting the urge to trade away. Clary, though, 31 touches. So that reads well, but only 80 Supercoach points. What's up with that?
Just disposal efficiency. He couldn't really get clean ball to other people, and it really just dropped him off.
Yep.
I'm not too worried about him. I think he'll have games like this, and obviously he'll have some big games. I think the days of him going 122 a season are probably done. I think 105 to 110 is very reasonable. Maybe 115.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can't see him going full peak Piggish Clary anymore.
That's fair. Now, Gold Coast, they've played 2 games. They've won 2. And they've both been away from home. Is this the year they break the duck?
I hope so. Because as the insight team, as we like to call them, they've been bloody impressive, mate. And there's definitely a few blokes on this Gold Coast list that are interesting topics, including one Bailey Humphrey.
Yeah, talk to me. 23 touches, 6 tackles, a fair few CBAs, 111 Supercoach points, 270K. Are you interested?
Interested, yes. Am I going to go there? Probably not.
Okay.
Just due to the fact that I don't really want to go to mid prices. Yes, he's probably going to make money and be a stepping stone while scoring decent. But I just worry that obviously Tuke Miller spent all of his time at half forward. He only had about 20% CBAs. Sam Flanders only had about 40% CBAs. I just sort of worry that Humphrey's 45 CBAs just dropped back a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he had most of his bulk touches through the midfield when he was in there. Okay. So I think it maybe drops back a bit. Look, I still think he'll be fine. And if he can average 75, 80, I think you're pretty well on there.
Okay. Nice. What about Matt Rao, as our man Squid would say? 136 backed up his huge round 1 performance. Is he back?
Oh, he's back. Oh, he's so back. He's so back. He's running a bit quicker. He just looks fitter. Mm. He looks the Matt Rowell of the first 3 games of his rookie year.
Interesting.
He looks back. I mean, I'm bloody thrilled that I started with him. I hope more people don't jump on. I'd love to keep him as a pod. Mm-hmm. But, geez, it's hard to ignore him if he keeps putting up performances like this. It's just can he do it against a non-subpar team.
We see Took Miller there, 3 goals as well, 127 Supercoach points. Johnny Noble, 29 touches, 120. Noah Anderson, Nando, 35 touches as well. So between him and Rao, they had 71 touches and 200 and what would that be? 45 Supercoach points.
They work well.
Unreal.
Yeah.
We go through the list there. Ned Flanders, he's back. The Diddley, 25 touches, only 71 Supercoach points. Don't mind that. Let's see that price whittle away a little bit, and then we can get interested in a few weeks' time. But apart from that, mate, nothing really to talk about here.
Yeah, not much else really going on Supercoach-wise.
As we mentioned earlier as well, young Lindsay, ACL not snapped, could be back within, 3 weeks? Is that what it is?
2 to 3 is probably likely. MCL sprain. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a decision you got to make tonight and tomorrow whenever you change your team. It's do you hold through that little period, or do you just jump off him now and go to a guy on the bubble like a Moraes?
Yep.
I'd probably lean.
Yeah, probably Moraes.
But gee, he got injured within the first 3 minutes of the game, and he was in that 3 minutes. He was easily the best player in the park. So
yeah, right.
He was on for a big one, I reckon. It's unfortunate, really, but I'm just glad he's back soon.
Yeah, 100%. Nothing else you want to bring up in this game? We can move on.
No, not much else going on, really.
Beautiful. Next game we've got is going to be the St Kilda Footy Club, who absolutely pumped the Richmond Footy Club by 1 million.
Yeah. And the rest.
Jack Sinclair. Shout out to our man Squid. He picked it. The pin cushion. Jack Sinclair. He's like, yep. Squeeze of the week. He's going to get top score. And it's going to be 163, I think he picked, didn't he?
Yeah.
So Jack Sinclair, 162, 40 touches. And it was like he was sick and Richmond just didn't want to catch the cold off him or something. No one went near him all game.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't happy with it, obviously. I told you the story, but I'll tell the story. So I've had Clark in all week. And then I went looking the night before this game and found out Sinclair averages 117 at Marvel throughout the past 3 years. And I thought, gee, I want a piece of that, especially against Richmond.
For sure.
So I brought him in, thought about VCing him. I even said to you, and you said, no, you can't really go over 120. Boy, how wrong were we?
Oh, silly.
And then Jack Steele, who we see down here actually, was a very, very late out within the last hour anyway when the sub got changed. And I thought to myself, before my drive to work, I thought, Sinclair's going to play midfield here. They have no other mids. Obviously, they brought in Hasty. He's going to be the sub. But with Travaglia not being the sub anymore, who originally was named as the sub, Sinclair's going to have to play midfield here. And he didn't. And I look a right mug because of it. So what can you do?
What happened to Steele? Was it a twinge in the knee or something, was it?
He copped a knee knock throughout the week and just couldn't really get up for it.
Okay.
They gave him like the last second amount of time that they could.
Yep.
He just wasn't right.
Yep. Jack McRae, VCers, Seers, and the like 120. Nice and safe this round with the amount of stuff that was going on all over the joint. Mason Wood, 119, 3 goals from his 16 touches. Marshall, 23 touches, 12 marks, 22 hitouts. He's 117. The Wang, 29 touches, 110 Supercoach points. For those that held on to Garcia, this is that spike game that it was always bound to happen.
Yeah.
99 Supercoach points. Congratulations, you held him. You'll get a price rise out of him, but don't expect this next week.
Yeah, no, 100%. You can't really expect this. And as we go down the list, we see Max Hall, who had a phenomenal game as well, put up 85 Supercoach points. And, phenomenal for our forward lines. If you brought him in, he's going to make some good coin this week and keep that going. And young debutant Toby Travaglia. Now, you have a nice little story about Toby Travaglia, I've heard.
Yeah, walking past his parents' place here in Bendigo, and it was about 11:30 when I texted you.
Yeah, something like that.
And
sometime in the morning.
walking past their place, and they're out the front, jumping up and down, giving the claps and the high fives. And I'm like, yeah, something's going on here. So I messaged you boys. And I'm like, I reckon he's going to debut this week.
Yeah.
And was
not
it
even
a couple of
3
hours later?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even 3 hours later, he got announced
Yeah.
the debut.
So, Toby, congratulations, mate, from everyone here in Bendigo. Love what you've done in the underages, and now you get your shot at the big time, and you looked right at home, mate. Well done.
Yeah, one of the only actual Bendigo players instead of you trying to claim Harley Reid, who's from
Tongala's finest.
Tongala.
Played at Bendigo Pioneers, mate. Same thing.
Yeah, you can't be claiming Pioneers players. I won't allow it.
Oh, mate, next thing we know, you're going to claim Dyson Daniels or something, aren't you?
You tried to. Anyway.
Where's he from?
Liam, don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, that's right. Bendigo.
Liam O'Connell subbed out very early with a concussion from that pretty yucky push from Ryan Mansell, who's copped a 3-match ban for it. So, look, they talk about there's a lot of debates, and there will be a lot of debates about this ban, and is it really a ban? I think it was. There's no need to push him into the contest there. There's just absolutely no need for it.
Nope.
I didn't like it. I think he deserved the ban, personally.
I'm going to remain quiet on that one because, I'll have my voice heard on Wednesday night after I do some more research on it. Nankervis bounced back this week, 123 Supercoach points. Taranto, 94. Hopper, 92. These are guys that you're not really going to have in your team. But for those that held on to Trainer, 18 touches, 6 marks, 90 Supercoach points. That's right. After going, what was it, 18 the week before?
24.
24?
24.
He gets us 90 and it restarts that cash gen. So for those of you that held on to him, well done. For those that still have Jaden Short, however, what do you do? 89 in this game, 26 touches, 24 of them kicks, but still, I'm not liking this.
He got his kick-ins back and still scored shit. I just don't see the appeal in keeping him. If whenever you can find the ability to get him out, you have a free trade available, I would, because I really don't rate it. If he's getting 26 touches from halfback and only having 89, realistically, you should want more if you're getting 100%. That many.
Yep. Is there anyone else we're going to talk about on the Richmond Footy Club? Lawler, for those that traded him in after his first game, 9 touches, 45 Supercoach points, and might make a little bit of cash.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably one of the first rookies that non-sub or injury-related that'll go in the next couple of weeks. He's just because he's so expensive, his cash gen isn't as good as the 113k guys, and he won't make too much.
No.
But besides that, for Richmond, not much else going on. As we see, Skits Fitz joined the chat. Pop that scoreline. Have that.
Absolutely. Now, we'll get into the next game, mate, which is going to be Hawthorn versus GWS, I believe.
Yep.
And there was a bit going on in this game with the weather. The wind was going to one end.
Yeah.
5-6 goal wind, and both teams took advantage of it in the first half, but then Hawthorn kicked away a little bit in the third against the wind, and then they didn't kick a goal in the last.
Yeah, it was interesting. Did you see the pre-match video of, I think it was Jack Gunston lining up his shot and he's aiming out of bounds. He's literally parallel to the 50 and it just swings back and goes in. That's how crazy this wind was. It was disgusting amounts of wind. It would have been shit house to play in.
How'd you see this game anyway? Talk to me about Hawthorn. Nick Watson had an absolute blinder when we're talking Supercoach.
Yeah, he got his free kicks that he always tries to get. They paid off for him, and he took real advantage. Is he an option? Probably not. No, but he's put up some nice scores. He's put up a 100 and something, then a 78, and then now we got a 134. Might make a bit of coin, but I can't see him being anywhere near top 6 when it comes down to it.
Yeah, right. Lloyd Meek, 14 touches, 118 Supercoach points. 1 to target if you need a downgrade in your ruck department after his bye next week. Hardwick, you're not looking at. Mackenzie will be a good player, but you're not looking at him.
He was so good in this game.
He's clean, isn't he?
So good. I wouldn't go as far as what Kane Corn said and say he could be a future Brownlow medalist. I thought that was a bit crazy, but boy, he's a good footy player.
Did you see that rant that Tommy Sheridan went on?
Yes.
And then Kane Corn's like, he's an 83-game scrub.
83-game local footy player.
Listen here, Kane Corns. I've played 0 games of AFL, and I still think you're a flog. Let's move on. Will Day, 24 touches, 103 Supercoach points. I can't wait to be on SEN tomorrow. They steal all the rest of our stuff. Hopefully that gets on. Weddle, 20 touches. He was really good, wasn't he? 98 Supercoach points. He's just that hybrid, can do bits of everything.
Yeah, which sort of it kills him for Supercoach, but as a footy player, it's what Hawthorn needs. Sorry, and I bet you they love him.
Yeah, for sure. Gunston, that's probably the best game he'll play in a while. 16 touches, 94 Supercoach points. He will be very cheap. Please don't look at him. John Newcomb, quite a game, 89 Supercoach points. Dylan Moore, 84, and we'll lose some coin, and we're absolutely okay with that because we'll target him in a few weeks' time. And everyone else we're not really looking at. Carl Amon was a bit quieter in this game after going ton back to 79 Supercoach points. So that's what you're going to get out of Hawthorn, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
With GWS, though, it was the Himmelberg man down back, and it was also the man that we know is sponsored proudly by Ryan from Astute. You said it is Winnie Blues. Use the promo code INSIGHT for all your residential home loan needs. His link is in the description below.
Trees in the chat.
Now, there wasn't really much going on here, was there? With McGuinness went to Callaghan and his score suffered 55 Supercoach points. I wouldn't be jumping off yet, ladies and gentlemen. Nope. McGuinness, when he's tagging, is one of the best taggers in the competition. And it was a shit night. It is what it is.
Night.
You still made a lot of coin out of him, 20, 30K this round anyway. What I am interested in, and I want to hear your thoughts, mate. If people want to go the 3-ruck strategy, and you've got Kieran Briggs, who could be 475K, would you?
No, don't like it. I really don't like it. I rate Briggs as a player, but at the same time, he's got low scores in him quite comfortably. And look, it's somewhat at a cheap price, but at the same time, I'd rather just take, a midfielder for the same price and not run 3 rucks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to look at Briggsy in the same way as we do these top rucks because he's a lot more restrictive and the like. And I don't know. It's hard, but I wouldn't go near him personally.
How did you see Stringer's first game for the Orange team?
It's about as good as he was for Essendon.
Let's move on. Anyone else you want to talk about? Tom Green was quiet Supercoach-wise, 31 touches, 22 handballs, 89 Supercoach points. Is he going to drop cash a little bit?
I believe so. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he had one a big game, his first game back, but I still think he might have one more game. I think he might be on the bubble this week. I think this might have been his second game.
Gotcha. Just looking now, he has played 1 game.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So he's on the bubble.
Yeah. Connor Stone, if you held him, probably getting time to get rid of him soon. Besides that, not really much going on. Just waiting for the Callaghan bounce back, I guess.
Yeah, spot on. Let's go to the next game, mate, which was I actually found this game to be a bit of a cracker. The weather was shit, but it was really on and really tight for the majority of the game, and that's Geelong versus Brisbane. Will Ashcroft, before we talk about McCluggage, he's bounced back. His last quarter last week where he scored 55 Supercoach points. And then in this one, in the wet, 33 touches, 136 Supercoach points. And as Jonathan Brown would say it, he's got one huge ass and he's got a massive base.
Yeah. Yep. I like what Fagan said post-game. He said that was Ashcroft's best game, and he said it was pretty bold to say since he won the Norm Smith, but I think he was right. That was the Ashcroft coming out game. This is the jumpstart that he needed to be a proper elite AFL footballer.
Yeah, gotcha.
He will continue. I reckon he will continue this form for a while now.
Yeah.
And if you held him, congratulations. Well done.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zorko, 135 Supercoach points. Really good in the wet. McCluggage, are we sleeping on McCluggage a little bit? 136 Supercoach points.
I mean,
Or is it just a matter of there's so many people?
I mean, yes and no. Neil got tagged basically out of this game, sort of opened up McCluggage a bit. It's, I don't really think you can pick him, to be honest. Be nice if he had like a forward DPP or something, but there's just no real way to pick him. He won't be top 8. Let's be honest.
No. You're spot on, mate. Just looking through the games. He does have Richmond next week, but does get a little bit tougher after that. Harris Andrews, 12 touches for 109 Supercoach points. Unreal. Dunkley, a bit quieter this week. 26 touches, 21 kicks, only 5 handballs, which is extraordinary out of Dunkley for 105 Supercoach points. But we've got to scroll down a little bit to find 20 touches next to Lockie Neal's name for 71 Supercoach points. Now, for those that picked him, I being one, we didn't pick him for the first 3 weeks. We picked him for his run that starts now.
Yep.
So please don't trade him away.
Hold. He's a genuine VCC option the rest of his run now.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Hold. And I hope people jump off so I can keep rising. But please just hold him if you're listening.
For those that decide to jump on Murphy Reid as well from the Fremantle Footy Club, he has just turned up in Supercoach, so good on him. Anyone, and Kizza as well, I'm going to bring this up here, jumped on him at the start of the year, $26 for Rising Stars. So the man's not wrong half the time, is he?
Don't want to give him more credit than what I've already given him this show. I'll never hear the end of it.
What'd you see for Geelong, mate?
Just quickly, Levi Ashcroft.
Yep.
Underperformed, obviously. Wasn't too great as he has been in the first couple of weeks, but
I'm not worried.
I think he's still got money to make. You just hold him. There's still a chance that he has a really big score quite soon and regenerates that cash gen. And I'll drop another quick one for Kai Lohmann.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously had an ankle injury, which he missed last week with. He got subbed out in the Sydney game, only scored 9 points. Scores 13 here. He's set to have about a 200 break even or something ridiculous. If he drops all the way back down to 200K, I'm interested.
Get him.
Yeah.
120%. That's what he did last year for us.
Yeah.
Maxi Holmes, 127 Supercoach points, 19 kicks, 29 touches. He was just awesome. Even in the wet. Really, really like his game. And there's genuine scope for him to be a top 6 defender come year's end.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Atkins did a good role on Lockie Neal with his 14 tackles for 105 Supercoach points. Blick Sabs, 104 in the ruck. SDK, Sam De Koning. We did try and warn you that this would happen. Not the sub, but that inconsistent scores would happen. 50, and he was subbed out.
I believe the sub was due to a corky he copped. So it's not really a tactical thing, so don't get too worried about that. It's just because he copped a corky and couldn't ruck anymore. So
yep. Bailey Smith. So for me, I am going to trade this man in.
Yep. Same.
And if he had played last week and was on the bubble this week, it would have been this week. But I'm glad that I've seen this out of him. And I'll tell you why. So the first week against Fremantle, they ran all over Freo. He was running, he was carrying, he was running through the lines, he was running good running patterns. He was kicking long. The disposal efficiency didn't really matter because when the ball goes over 40 metres, if it's a 50-50, it's still considered an effective kick.
Yep.
So it was wet in this game and he still had 25 touches, which is all well and good. But the pleasing thing for me as an upcoming owner is that he still scored 81 Supercoach points. Yeah, he looked a little slow, but that's fine because you think about it, he played a practice match, then he had a week off, and then he played round 1, and then he's had a week off, then he's played this game. So if he plays next week, that'll be his first 2 games in 2 weeks span that he's had from the preseason right through for the past nearly 2 years. So To see 81 from 25 touches out of Bailey Smith and 11 tackles, more importantly, too, in the wet, there is massive upside. And I would strongly consider, if you don't have him, to look at bringing him in this week on the bubble.
You're 100% right, mate. The reason, so I was going to fade Bailey Smith round 2 when everyone was going to look to bring him in. The reason I was going to do that is because at GMHBA, the wings are so narrow that it basically the wingers just become another midfield. And I was sort of worried because Bailey Smith only had 20% CBAs in that game. And, if it's a wider ground, is he going to continue to get the ball like he was? So I was ready to fade him and just see one more week while he was on the bubble.
Yep.
On a wider ground. He obviously missed last week, which, I get an extra week to fade him. Some people brought him in this week. You're still happy with an 81, I guess. But now you get to bring him in on a bubble. I'm confident now that it's not just a GMHBA effect, even though most of his games are going to be there, so it's good.
Mm-hmm.
He actually is one that's going to get the ball a lot. And the only reason he scored 81, he had 28% disposal efficiency, mate.
That was terrible.
If he improves that by not even 20%, gets to 50, he probably tons up. Imagine he got to 70 or 80.
Yep.
I'll bring him in.
For those that bought in, Conor O'Sullivan, you'd be happy. Only 10 touches, but still 77 SuperCoach points. Works well there. Everyone else, not really that. Mitch Nevitt was the sub, surprisingly.
Annoyingly.
Don't like that, but still 20 SuperCoach points, and he will make some cash this week. Let's move into the next game, mate. And it is today's game.
Yeah, we're into today.
Adelaide versus North. And lucky for you, Higo, you got home just in time, mate. We're going to talk about the Adelaide Crows beating the North Melbourne Footy Club. North put up a bit of a fight in this one.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, Adelaide just looked incredible, I'll be honest. Their structure and their trap defense, it's just, they flow so well together. That forward line is dangerous as anything. They're a very scary team. I reckon they're actually, I sort of expect them to finish about the same. I'm a bit worried that they could be top 8 now.
I think they're better than that. In the preseason, I tipped them to finish 6th. And I think with the way they're playing at the moment, that might be unders.
I just want to see, because obviously they've played North Melbourne, St Kilda, I think, and some, I can't remember. Essendon, that's right.
How could you forget that?
I got that game quick out of my mind.
Yep.
Because that wasn't a good one.
Reasonable.
Yes, they've put points on all of them, but I just want to see them do it. I want to see them how they go against a Brisbane or something like that.
Yep.
And I think they've got Geelong this week. Am I right saying? So, I'll see Nick this week. When it comes to players, Rory Laird, 250th game, congratulations. He was bloody fantastic. 32 disposals for 124 SuperCoach points, mate.
And still didn't make his break even.
You interested when DPP comes in?
Nope.
I'm also not, because he took, I think I'm right in saying, one kick in. He won't have games like that consistently without kick-ins. It's just how halfbacks are. It's annoying, but it's just how it is.
Unfortunately. Yep. You're bang on, mate. And how did you see his game today, though?
Rory Laird?
Yep.
Oh, he's phenomenal. He was great. I can't really fault it. He was everywhere around the ball pretty much when it came down that way. He was looking to get it. He was distributing well. It was a great game, and it's probably a good way to bring up your 250.
He's only gone over 124 twice in the past 12 months. So, yeah. Yep. He's done well here, though. Isaac Rankin, 30 touches. He's just phenomenal. 119 SuperCoach points. Thilthorpe, 110 from his 3 goals. The Slug, Saligo, 28 touches, 108 SuperCoach points. The next bloke on the list, I'll let you talk about him because
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
not. What's his name? Derek.
Jesus Christ. Just
Tristan.
Call him Christ. Christ Almighty. Mate, you can't fault, as much as he haunts you, you can't fault how good he's been playing. You have been hate watching him, and I love it. I love to see it. You are finding ways for him to say he had a bad game, and you can't do it. You really can't.
I can.
Go on.
He had a bad game.
Ben Keys, look, he's not an option, but I will forever press the narrative that
You've got over 200 people watching this at the moment, and they're watching me cringe because I'm struggling to find ways to describe how poor he's been.
I think this all started because of you, actually, to be honest, last year.
It did.
Yeah. Has Keys gone below the 78 the line that we set? Has he gone below it yet?
Anyway, can we move on? I'm going to get PTSD just from talking to this bloke.
Mitch Hinge, he was all right.
Minge's Hinge, 20 touches, 103 Supercoach points. Dawson under 100 for the first time this year, only 19 touches for his 96 Supercoach points. Peatling, that was the best he'd scored all year, 23 touches, 93 Supercoach points. Dan Curtin, he's a fucking man mountain. We brought this up last week. He looks like he's really settling into the senior side here. 90 Supercoach points in this one.
Yep, and bloody good on him. It looks like he's ready for AFL football, and I just hope there's a spot for him forever because he's one of the Crom's up-and-comers.
Mm-hmm. He is. Josh Worrell was pretty good too, 82 Supercoach points, and we're not really worrying about anyone else down towards the bottom there. Rochelle, though, broken ribs.
Fractured ribs. He's out next week at least. Nix reckons it could be longer, though. So
okay.
Keep an eye out. It probably means that Sid Draper isn't the sub next week.
Luke Jackson has just eclipsed Jack Sinclair's squeeze of the week.
Sorry? He was on about 80.
164 he's on now.
Hold on. Yeah, talk about... Where have we got here?
We'll talk about North Melbourne. So, Jai Simpkin, he's gone ton, 119 Supercoach points, 31 touches, and still priced about 450K, 460K. So, when lockout lifts, you can have a look and see whether you're interested in that. For me, a little sneaky look, I must admit. I do like his role and what he does there at North Melbourne. Caleb Daniel, 33 touches, 9 marks, 116. This is the pig we love and trust here in Supercoach. Just let him roll around in gravy all day and let him score for me. Love it. McDonald, we're not buying into that. 99 Supercoach points. Servalaki, kick 4, 92 Supercoach points. As Nathan O'Driscoll brings up the ton. Thank you very much. Cherry, 89. Oh, he's been scaled up too. He beat Gorn by 1 point.
Wow. Whoop-de-doo. I mean, they both weren't great. And, I mean... Cherry with his old hammy incident or whatever happened at the start of the game.
He's getting scans tomorrow.
Yes, that's right. Hamstring awareness. He's getting scans tomorrow. That's right. I did remember seeing that. If it does come out that it's bad, it's probably not going to be anyone that we care for. Probably Brent Eagle.
Yeah, probably.
That comes in. So,
She's got 26 touches, 89 Supercoach points. Parker, 78. And then we're not really looking at anyone. LDU, 63 Supercoach points. And Tom Powell, pow! Yeah. 48 Supercoach points. Both struggled today.
Yep, I captained Powell in the fantasy draft, so that wasn't good from me. We'll move on from there. Jacob Constancy, he gets a mention just due to the fact that he gave Squid some money. Mm-hmm. Finn O'Sullivan, again, mate, he's showing flashes, but at the same time, it's still not great scoring-wise.
No. What's going on there? 16 touches, which you think, for a rookie, awesome. 44 Supercoach points. He had a break-even of 10, so he's going to make...
Not much.
Less than 10K.
And he's probably going to have a shit-ass break-even next week too. It's not going to be great. Look, if you kept him now, definitely get off him next week.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
Moving into our last game, mate, which is between Fremantle and West Coast. And Fremantle are finally on the board.
Is it done? Is the game done?
It is done. So West Coast lose 68 to 106. We'll go through Fremantle's. That's right. We'll go through Fremantle scores. I've got them in front of me right now.
Yep.
Andrew Brayshaw, 132. Actually,
take that.
Put this in chronological order. Luke Jackson, 165. So for the second consecutive week, the squeeze will not go off as no one tipped Luke Jackson to win squeeze of the week.
I have the halftime stats. So Luke Jackson, I like to screenshot the stats
do it.
for my article, just because it's easier to work out with taggers when it comes by quarters. Luke Jackson went 25 in the first quarter, 57 in the second quarter. And I didn't get the third quarter, but somehow he got 110 Supercoach points in a half.
Wow.
Wowee.
Phenomenal. Andrew Brayshaw, 131.
There we go.
Pleasing owners. Tracy, 114. Bailey Banfield, 109. Caleb Sarong, 35 touches for 105. So he will lose coin this week. Murphy Reed, the rookie, 105 Supercoach points from his 19 touches. No goals. Nathan O'Driscoll, boom, 104 Supercoach points. For those of you that jumped on the ride with us at the start of the year, we say great work. 104 Supercoach points for Noddy. Jordan Clark as well, turned up 105 Supercoach points. Only 18 touches today, though. 1 goal and 88% by foot. Shai Bolton starting to get it back a little bit. 21 touches, 95 Supercoach points. Uncle Dudley, or Uncle Deadly as they call him in the West, 82 Supercoach points in his first game. 2 goals, 10 touches. I'm not going early on him, though. Nope, he will need another week. Someone that I want to talk about, though, before we get stuck in the West Coast Eagles, is a bloke that looks like he's chucked on about 15 kegs in the preseason, mate, and looks a little slow. 16 touches today, 2 frees, 4, 81% by foot, 81 Supercoach points. Luke Ryan.
Not going there. Not going there this season. The game plan's changed. The roles changed. He's done. It's been nice, Luke Ryan, but you see, goldness, CKC is no more. That's it. We've put an end to it. CKC, it's over.
He will lose 50K this round.
I'm still not going there.
No.
Even when his break-even's good enough, if he's, 500K, I'm still not going there. I don't want to do it.
That's fair. Now, someone I do want to bring up with you from West Coast, I brought up last week and you shot me down. I'm going to ask again. Ryan Marich, 123 Supercoach points, 24 kicks, 4 handballs, 8 marks, kickouts, 445 meters gained, 75% by foot, 85% time on ground. At 230K, surely there's a little sniff of interest there.
Nope. Give me 2 seconds here. I'm just getting up what his price is going to be next week, because then I definitely won't be interested. But I'm still not, because he's going to make a lot of coin. I mean, if you jumped on early, congratulations. But
it'll be 260K by my estimation.
Yeah, no, I don't rate it.
He'll be the same price as Bailey Humphrey.
I would rather Bailey Humphrey.
Okay.
And I'll give you one reason why. Elliot Yeo comes back. Liam Baker goes back to halfback. Ryan Marich loses almost all credibility back there. Simple as that. I'm just waiting for Yeo to come back. I can't see Marich making enough money in the time before Yeo comes back. He's not a keeper.
Yep.
No. I like other options for cheaper.
Jeremy McGovern subbed off 103 Supercoach points from 15 touches. Jack Graham didn't quite ton up, but 99 Supercoach points today from 17 touches and 7 tackles. Bailey Williams, 92. Jamie Cripps, 89. Liam Baker, 85 again from 23. Archer Reed, really good game, Supercoach-wise, 85 Supercoach points. Only 8 touches, 5 marks, 6 headouts, 2 goals, 2. Jinby, 85. We have to scroll all the way down to near the bottom to find Harley Reid, 50 Supercoach points from 15 touches, 3 free kicks against. What's going on there?
Not good. Whatever is going on. Let's just get him to Essendon and see if things change. What do you reckon?
Is he tanking his draft stock or his stock? So then we only have to give him 1 draft pick instead of 2.
I hope not. If that's the case, it's shithousery at its finest. Look, I think it's just he's absolutely copping it in the media, and I feel bad for the kid. Look, I don't really want to touch on this topic because I want to give him a chance. But boy, he's getting compared to the greats of our game already. It's his second season. He's underperforming slightly, but no one's fantastic. Just because he's this quote unquote generational prospect doesn't mean he should be treated different to every other rookie or every other second yearer.
Yep.
And he just it obviously is going to take a toll on a 19-year-old's mind if people are talking shit on him the whole time.
For sure.
He's obviously built up a little bit of an ego, which is understandable. It happens at a young age, and if he gets shot down, it's not easy to come back from. And all he needs is one good game, and he's back. And he just needs people to shut up for a bit. That's all it is.
And just let him get back to playing footy.
Just play footy. Just let me play footy. That's all I'd say. Yes, the playing for the freeze and the sticking the finger up isn't great, whatever. But no one's perfect. It's hard, and he gets glorified more than everyone else. So I don't know. Anyway, before I go too far into it,
we're going to go a little bit into the mind of the horse as to why I may be trading out Jason Horne-Francis this week. Deadly. Take a stab in the dark as to, in Jason Horne-Francis' last 17 games, how many times he's turned up?
Well, I know it. So,
yeah.
Actually, I don't know. 2 or 3? I just think it's 2.
3.
Okay. All right.
He's gone 3 in his last 17 games. If we're talking about him being a primo, is that enough to consider him as a top 6 potential player if he's playing this much forward?
No, probably not. Nope.
So my question to you is, would you trade him out before he loses too much value?
Nah, I just genuinely see a bounce back coming, and I think people are going to want to get him back in at a point this season. It's going to suck losing the money, but is it really lost money if I never traded him out?
Very true. Very true.
I mean, it's just the way I see it. I made a deal to myself in this preseason. Last year, I shot myself in the foot by kept trading out primos and guys that would score well, but just not well enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'd come back, bounce back after I'd sell them. And I just sort of made a promise to myself that I'm not going to do that this year. If this guy, I reckon, is still going to be an out-and-out primo, I'm keeping him. I still reckon he's an out-and-out primo. It's different for a guy like, I don't know, Will Day. I didn't see him as a top 8 mid, trading him out. Horne-Francis I still see as at least a top 10 forward. At least.
For sure. Our man Scorched Earth, I can tell you that you scored 2002 this week. So well done, that man.
Very nice.
The highest score I've seen so far, though, is 2056.
What did you get, Horse, while we're on it?
Horse got 1,944 this week.
No, you beat me by a point. 1,943.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how. I swear we had the same players in this game, so that makes no sense.
1,944. Yep.
No. You've done the same thing. I'm looking at it. 1,942. You've lost to me by a point. I'm looking at it right now.
It says how do I share screen this?
Yeah, you bring it up.
Hang on, we'll do the questions first, then we'll get into it.
Yeah, all right. We can argue about this forever.
Yeah, well we could. Because I'm not drinking beer out of a straw. Unreal you are.
It's question time. Let's answer your questions for the week ahead.
Apparently you're looking quite fetching tonight, Deadly.
Jeez, it's the nicest thing I've ever had said to me. I wish my mother said that to me.
Yeah. Oh, she calls you special though, doesn't she?
Yeah, and the rest.
Got Dudley on my bench and Hewitt on field. That hurts.
Yeah, sucks.
Dave, frustrated. Have Trainer and Murphy Reid on the bench as non-emergency. Had Lindsay, Nevitt, Hewitt, and Levi. Oh, fuck. There's a
It
couple of hundred
sucks.
points there.
It sucks.
But at least you've still got them.
I am in the exact same boat. I have Max Hall and Trainer on the bench. Couldn't get their points. I have Nevitt, Ashcroft, Lindsay, Hewitt on field. So I'm in the exact same boat. Sucks, but realistically, were you ever going to start those guys? It's just that's the way I look at it. You weren't never going to start them, and it just sucks that these other guys were named the sub, but you can't really control it.
Jesus, some big scores coming through in the chat. Kev, 2077. Nice work, mate.
Yeah.
Really good. Thomas, 2058. Well done. Scorched Earth, 2002. Yeah, Jasper, 1927. Good work.
Yep.
Dave still scored 1992. Well done, that man. 2093 for Mikey Z. Good job.
Yeah.
From
nice
Kappa. Hasty, Lindsay, Patton, SDK. Who is the priority? Who would
priority trade outs?
Yeah, I'd say probably
I
get
would-
Lindsay out from the race.
I think I'd still say Hasty over, because Hasty scored shit all, done shit all. I don't know. He's going to be a sub when he plays. If you want to keep him, just know that you can't play him on field. I think Patton out of them, I wouldn't sell Patton. His DPP is nice, and he will get a game quite soon, you'd think. I reckon he gets back into that Sydney side eventually, and he's got a nice enough break even. SDK, I'm worried about now.
For sure.
For that, I'd probably lean in order. Hasty, SDK, Lindsay, Patton.
That's fair. Got anything else you'd like to discuss this evening, mate, before we knock off?
How good's Ben Keys?
Not too good. Oh, we've got a
Okay,
2,113. Wow.
Lying to yourself. Hold on. I'm gonna bring this up. I hope the people can see it. All right. Horses for Courses, 1942. Let me zoom in. Let me get the real effect of this.
Jesus, here we go.
So, as we can see there, Horses for Courses, 1942. He lost to Scorch Earth, so shout out you, Scorch, my king, greatest accent in human history. So yeah, 1942, and Chestnut Checkers, 1943.
Oh, you did get me by a point.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we know who the king of this ship is. Flag Dons.
I don't know what to say. You know what? Congratulations. I'm glad that you're doing well.
Thanks, mate, because I still think I'm ranked about 40k spots lower than you because of last week. But that's all right.
That's all right. Mate, is Cherry a chance to miss a few weeks, you reckon? Personally, I think he's fine if he played out the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just a minus. If it's a minus strain, it's probably just a week, maybe two.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's nothing, then I don't know. Maybe it's just a twinge. I literally can't give you anything until scans tomorrow because it's just not possible to know. It could be anything. Like he could have had a minor injury, played out the game, and then turned it major. We won't know until scans tomorrow. So yeah, just keep an eye out.
Yeah, for sure. Patton traded Patton out for Bice this week, as there's quite a few I wanted next week. Yeah, 3 trades isn't enough.
Yeah, I think I could probably happily do 3 if I was to do. If I could do 4, I would. If I could do 5, I would.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think 3 is doable at least. It's not like I won't get fully stitched up. Like some teams could possibly be fully stitched up this week, and you got to feel for them.
For sure. Mate, that's going to do us for this evening. Where can the people at home find you?
Right there. Right there on X.
You did it.
Over there. I know, I've learned it's the left hand, not the right hand.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, over there on X, just living the dream, talking shit. In the WhatsApp, I always talk shit in there too. So join that if you want to hear me yarn some more, which I don't know why you would. There's
We have
plenty
a
of banter
good
in
little community in there. Almost 100 in our WhatsApp group at the moment who love chatting footy, banter, all things AFL related as well. But to be part of the Punters Club, you do need to be a part of that. And it is only a cup of coffee per month if you'd like to get all the lowdowns on trade targets, buy, hold, sells, buy planning, our very own doc that we have in our chat that does a captain's article each week. Yourself doing the VFL wrap and injuries as well, so we know who to look out for, who not to, and all that sort of jazz from the lower leagues as well. There's plenty going on in there.
100%, mate. And we get the great man Hurls back this week. After his week absence, and he was truly missed in the WhatsApp over the weekend. Yeah, he's got his article coming out throughout the week too, and yeah, we're all living the dream, I suppose.
Oh, for sure. It's awesome. I'm just hoping to stretch this out enough to get maybe 1 point worth of updates, but it's just not happening. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do us for this evening. Deadly's got me this week, arsehole, but that's okay. We'll give it to him. He does do a power of work for us here at Insight. Join us on Wednesday night where we go through round 4 strategy, trade targets, and a whole lot more. Deadly won't be with us because he chooses to work instead of doing podcasts with us.
I don't choose to.
We'll have a Squiddy with us and perhaps a special guest. I'll see who I can wrangle up for this week. But for tonight, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you Wednesday night. Take care and flag dons.